Hello, this is Thomas, K4SWL. If you're new here, I like to do real-time, real-life amateur radio field activation videos. And today, if you've been a regular viewer of this channel, you'll know where I am. I'm at the Zebulon Vance Historic Birthplace here near Weaverville, North Carolina. One of my go-to spots here locally for really pleasant park activations. I called the staff here this morning and asked them if there would be any issue with me using the picnic shelter today, and they said nope, there's nobody here, no planned groups, no nothing like that. So we're all in really good shape, and come on out and enjoy it. And so that's what I'm doing. I always ask here because really this picnic shelter in this area right here is really the only place you want to set up. Otherwise you're amongst all the old cabins and the archaeological stuff and everything that's here, and there's not really a lot of other choices. So if you come out to a historic site like this, you always want to make sure you're being respectful and using the areas that are designated for people to kind of do picnics and things like that. I know the staff here very, very well. They're amazing, and so they're like family at this point. I've been out here so much. So yeah, today we are going to do a quick park activation. Probably I need to fit it all within 1 hour's amount of time, including my video and everything here. If you are new here, these are real-time, real-life videos. There's no editing at all. I just kind of turn on the camera, let it go. But what I do try to do for people who don't want to see every single bit of the video is you can hover your mouse or your cursor over the timeline in YouTube, and I put chapters in so you can see where the chapters are and go straight to a section you may want. I'll start by just telling you a little bit about what we're doing here today, deploy my antenna, get my field gear set up, hop on the air, work a little POTA, hopefully, and then call QRT and pack things up. That's the way I'd like it to go today, at least. And also, before I get going too far here, two things I want to mention. Number one, thank you so much to my Patreon and Coffee Fund supporters. You all make this possible. That's it. You make it possible. Thank you so much. Also, always check in the description below in the video, and I have a link to my field report that goes along with this activation on QRPer.com. And I can tell you that you'll get a lot of good info out of there. Even though I wrote it, you'll get a lot of good info out of there because I always put links to everything, all the gear I use, extra photos, a little background about what I'm doing, that sort of thing. That's what I do. It is beautiful out here right now. We are between two fronts right now, two very wet fronts. Yesterday was just pouring down rain. Tomorrow and Saturday, it's a Thursday, tomorrow's going to be pouring down rain, so will Saturday. So we're going to have wet weather, but right now we've got a little break with a lot of sunshine, and it's really, really pleasant. So I'm looking forward to hopping on the air. So what radio am I using today? I'm using a new to me radio. This is the QRP Labs QMX transceiver. And this is one I have been wanting to review for a long time, or at least just take to the field for a long time. I'm doing a review of it for Radcom. So if you're an RSGB member, you'll see a review sometime this year after I've had a chance to go take it out and play with it for a month or more. And it's a great radio. This has been probably one of the hottest little QRP radios in the past year. Hans at QRP Labs always does such a fantastic job, with his product line. And this is basically the same chassis, same form factor as the QCX Mini, which I've used in a lot of activations. But the cool thing about the QMX is it's a multiband radio, and this covers everything, I think, from 80 meters to 20 meters. This is the low band version. There's also a high band version. I have one of those on order as well. Now, I did pick up my QMX. I do have a kit of the QMX at home, and I'm ashamed to say that I've had it since 4 days in May last year, right when Hans announced the QMX. I think I have like serial number 18 or something, a very low serial number. And I haven't put it together yet. I just have not had the dedicated time to do it. I know it'll take me probably a week of, like an hour here and there to get it built, and I just haven't had the time. We've had so much going on in our family. And so at the same time, I basically ordered an assembled, well, maybe 2 weeks later, I ordered an assembled version of this, because when I do a review, I like to use a factory assembled version, so I'm not reviewing performance based on my own building skills. I don't want to do any disservice to QRP Labs. So this assembled version arrived before I was able to get my kit done. So this is what I'll be reviewing. I think my next one, the high band version, it's probably a good 4 months out yet. If you have been looking at the QMX transceiver, these cost between, I guess, what is it, maybe $90 up to $170-ish or so. You'll have to check the website to get specifics on that. But let's just say it's really cheap for a multiband QRP radio that does both CW and digital modes, and I think someday this is actually going to do single sideband. Hans has been working on the firmware. There's a really good groups.io discussion board where you can join if you're interested in these. But if you're buying one that's assembled, you're going to be waiting a while to get it. They're several months out, like probably 6 to 8 months or more. But they do keep a list of where you are in the pipeline for getting yours built. So I received this one in January, and I have not yet taken it out for a POTA activation. I'll be really upfront in that I was doing something wrong with the radio at home. I thought I had an issue with the radio, but I think I know exactly what it was now. One of my readers pointed out. I think I mentioned this on the Ham Radio Workbench podcast, and one of the listeners and readers wrote to me and said, "Hey, you're putting too much voltage in it." Because I was running well over 12 volts. It may have been 13 volts. And I think this radio is really kind of designed to operate 9 volts up to 12 volts if you've got a good match. But it actually has a circuit in it that protects it from harming itself if you've got a mismatch. And what I was finding was that if I didn't have a perfectly matched impedance, it was just shutting off the transmit. You'd still hear the side tone, but there was no transmit. So today we are going to run this guy with my 9-volt battery. This is my 9-volt Bio-Inno battery, and hopefully this will do the trick. If not, I've got another radio in the car if there's something really wrong with this, but I suspect that they were right, that I was just feeding it too much voltage. I'm pretty confident about that. Since this has no built-in ATU or anything like that, I'm going to use my MC750, mainly because it's quick to deploy, and I only plan to be on 20 meters today. This is the low band version. I don't plan to do 30 and 40 meters because I suspect 20 meters will be more productive right now, and I don't have enough time. I just don't have enough time to probably work more meter bands. If I do, I may move down to 40, but probably not. Probably not today. So let's go ahead, now I've talked so much, let's go ahead and set up the antenna here and get this going. This shouldn't take very long. And what I'll do is I'm just going to set it up. You've seen me do this so many times. I'm not going to take the camera over there with me. I'll just get to work on this. And first thing I'll do is use some of this ABR Industries high-vis cable. I really like this stuff. And I do have, I don't even like mentioning this stuff, but I have affiliates with, like, Amazon, eBay, and then some very select ham radio people that I like working with, like ABR Industries and Chelegans, actually, who provides the antenna. I think they're wonderful companies, and ABR, I have been a customer of theirs for, many, many years, probably since back to like 2010 or so. Back when I ran a nonprofit organization called Ears to Our World, and we used to have a booth close to them at the Dayton Ham Convention. And I got to know them that way, and I started buying their cable assemblies, and they are just the best in the world. I think they're amazing. And so I was really happy when they wanted to reach out and become affiliate. And they also, if you're interested in ABR cables, and they're not inexpensive, but they are handmade in Texas, and they're just done very well. They are, you can get a discount by using, I think it's ABR 10 QRP, I believe. Don't quote me on that. Just look in the description below, and I'll have information about that in my YouTube description. But you'll save 10% if you do that. Anyway, let's just toss this out, mainly so I know roughly how long this needs to be to fit the radio here. I'll set it there. Now I'll go take the antenna out and set this up. Here we go. Now that I've done this, all I have to do is raise the antenna to the point that it shows 14 megahertz on the silk screened portion. I'll know that's where my stop is for 20 meters. Now that is a pure 20 meter quarter wave antenna. There's no matching unit down there at all. This is just a straight up 20 meter quarter wave. And you know, this thing's so darn reliable. I'm not worried about the SWR on it. I know it'll be good. So now let's get down to business. See what else I brought here. And I hope I brought everything. I may have to make a trip to the car if I did not. Truth is, well, I haven't made a kit for this radio yet. I've just, this has all been, it's still all kind of new. Oh, I should say this. This is actually my very first original CW Morse key, their pocket paddle. I've had this now, I think, since 2020, I think. And it has been with me on so many adventures. People ask me all the time, like, you know, hey, I'm just getting into CW. I'd like a paddle or a key to take to the field. I don't want to buy something expensive yet until I really kind of cut my teeth. And this is my favorite paddle. I think it's just the best price point for a durable paddle that's easy to adjust, fun to use. I love this. I love this paddle. These pocket paddles are amazing. I've probably got about 3 of them. And I think that they're just like one of the best values. If you're not looking for a precision key, you know, one with magnetic returns and things like that, I think these are amazing and they're a very good value. I should say too, CW Morse actually is also an affiliate. I mean, basically a lot of the equipment I'm using here, when I do affiliates, you'll notice I don't have promotions in my videos. I don't even do commercials in my videos. I don't have YouTube monetized or anything like that. I basically have sponsorships on QRP.com, and I do affiliate relationships with just a few companies, and these are some of the very few ones I have, is ABR, Chelegance, and CW Morse, and it's because they're all kind of nice mom and pop amateur radio companies that make incredible equipment that I love to use myself. So very happy with them. But CW Morse, they're a wonderful family-owned company, and I can't say enough good things about them. They have a lot of, I use CW Morse keys more than I use anything else. I do use my Bigali keys too. I love them. And they're much more kind of precision things, but for field keys, these are really fun. Now I did bring along this little, I bought this I think at 4 Days in May. Oh, probably over 10 years ago. It's probably no, it's probably about 10 years ago. And I can't even remember who was making these. If I bought this at 4 Days in May, did I buy it at 4 Days in May? I can't remember now. But it's just a really cool, just like a little padded, I don't know if this fellow's still making these anymore. He made it for the KX3, so it'd be at a nice viewing angle. But I thought, hey, this will work really well for my QMX today, so you can kind of see it. Now, I will fumble around a bit here because I'm not used to the QMX yet. So I know I'm going to fumble around a little bit with some of the settings and stuff as I get it going here. With any hope that, you know, this was kind of the deal here, that this was the issue with it before. Now, this one does not have the latest firmware, which I think adds some AGC, but I'm using a speaker instead of earphones. I'm not too worried about that, but you could hear some pretty dramatic changes in volume here. So let's take a look at things. Let me take a picture as I'm setting this up. Let's see now if this turns on. Yes, it does. Good. That's a good positive sign. Okay, and I want to move to okay, good. Okay, so I can tell that's working. Not hearing a bunch of activity out there, but it is kind of a Thursday at noon sort of thing, so who knows. Yeah, that's looking good. Let's see what the speed is here. I can live with that, whatever that is. I can live with that. I'm not going to set up the CW message memories today or anything. Ooh, I do need to set up my logs though. My paper logs here. And I'm also going to log on the side on my Hammers app. I do like doing that. So let's see here. Get you a little closer in. What's this? Maybe we'll see my log a little bit better. And my hands get in the way sometimes. Okay. So today is the 7th of March, 2024. And we are at K6856 Vance. And then I'm going to put QMX and MC750. That way I'll remember what I've got there. We'll be on 20 meters CW. And the time, well, let me just go over here in my Hammers app, or HamRS, whatever you want to call it. Pull this up, and the time, yeah, 1700. That makes sense. It's 5 hours ahead right now still. And I think we're good to go. Actually, I need to spot myself because I have not... I need to turn down this side tone a little bit here. Let's see. I've got to remember how to do that. That doesn't do it. This does it. Presets. CW keyer. Side tone volume. How do I do that? Do it. Oh, I hit this one more time. And I turn that down. We'll leave it about right there. That sounds like it will do just fine. And then I hit menu again. And menu. Nope. Menu. How do I get out of this? Oh. I can't remember how to do this. No, that goes in. And then... that's how I do it. That's right. Back out. I just got to get used to this again. Of course, this radio has a lot of embedded menus because we're talking about a really tiny form factor, very simple form factor, but you get used to it quickly. Take a few photos while I'm thinking about it, so don't forget this. What my antenna looked like, what the radio looked like. Now we'll see what my logs look like. There we go. So let's pull up hoda.app. Add spot for K4SWL on 14058.5, I think. Yes. Park reference K-6856. And we'll do CW. And we'll see if that spot registers. KC5F is out there. Oh, Steve, I wish I would have seen that before I spotted myself. Hey, if it didn't... Oh, it caught my spot. Okay, I better go ahead and start calling CQ. I may try to reach you, Steve. I probably can't get you on 20 meters, though, this close, because you are likely way too close to me. I'll have about 30 minutes of airtime here. probably running about... somebody called QRZ. Let me check to see if I'm being spotted at all. Wait a minute. It's spotting me on 14.07.4, which means that this is operating split for some reason. That's what was going on. How embarrassing. Ooh, you came back strong. This receiver is super quiet. I did have that right the first. Okay, wait. Sounds like a QRP station. Oh my gosh. I heard NI1Q in that pileup, but I only heard the 1Q and they came back. Good to get you in here, Emily. There you go. You're actually probably a 5x3 or 2. That hex beam serves you very well. He has a hex beam. No, no. Sorry I didn't get your call there, and I was hoping that... Boy, I made a mess of that. JVB. Nice park to park there, though. My keying, not the key, my keying today is just off. I don't know what's going on. I didn't have enough coffee this morning, that's what it is. my goodness. Okay, 1700. Okay. Oh, gotcha. Harry, okay. Got about another 5 minutes. Did I hear a WG? Okay, okay. What was that? Let me make sure. There we go. Oh, wait. That's who I heard. W2AEW. Said hello to Alan and Sophie, his dog. Alan's a great guy. W2AEW has like one of the very best YouTube channels out there. That is who I heard. I did hear a KK instead of a KC. Because I can tell by his tone and his signal strength who that was. I kind of remember that in pileups. There we go. Okay. 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 Was that the J? Okay, got it. I'm gonna have to call QRT. This will be my last contact because I need 15 minutes to pack up. Take some pictures while I can. I'm gonna have to call QRT and nobody's gonna like this. Nice. Oh, thank you so much. Okay, I wish I could keep going here, but I cannot. I can't do this anymore. I need to pack up. Let me take a few photos, though. A few photos more. I'll tell you what, this was a lot of fun, wasn't it? I'm hearing a little bit of like audio thumping, and I don't know, maybe I should turn the volume down on this and turn the volume up on that or something. That could be something in between the radio and the speaker. I think the audio sounds great. Actually, it's doing a good job. There's only one filter position, but I think it's pretty well selected. You can hear everything. I could hear enough. I like a wider bandwidth than this, but that's me, and I'm probably not typical. I think most people would rather have a more narrow bandwidth. I kind of prefer a wider one, but I felt like this is wide enough that I could hear the signals around me when people would move a little off frequency, which really helps out. How many did I get in this? Let's see here what I counted here. I got a total of 25 contacts, and let's just pull this up and see if I can get a little QSO map. It won't be accurate, probably, but it's pretty well done. Yeah, it doesn't even include N7 CCD out in Washington State. We had some really good, sorry, got a text coming in at the same time. We had some really good propagation today. It was really, really nicely done. So I need to just go ahead and pack this up and stop talking like I normally do. There we go, shut down. Love this. You can't have more fun with $100 and whatever, $60, whatever I paid for this. It's worth the wait. No, it's not an Elecraft KX2 or KX3 or an IC705 or something. But you know what? It sounds pretty darn good, and you definitely cannot complain about it at that price point. I think it's amazing. I wouldn't have known what to do. I mean, I was talking with my buddy Vlado about this. He just recently built his QMX, and we were talking about how times have changed so much. When I first started as an amateur radio operator back in 1997, there were very few just dedicated QRP field radios out there that were general coverage or that covered multi-bands and multi-modes. One of them was the, what was it called? The Index Labs QRP Plus. The FT817 hadn't even come out yet. And I remember how expensive it was buying a radio, and my first radio, and I really wanted a QRP radio, but it just wasn't feasible. They were like kind of too new. I could have gotten like an HW something or other from Heathkit, but I kind of wanted something that was general coverage or at least had multi-band coverage. And the price point back then, this is in 1997, and I was just telling somebody this because they were complaining about the price, I think, of the IC705. And I'm thinking, the IC705 is actually a good value if you look at how much amateur radio equipment has cost over the years and you account for inflation. And accounting for inflation, like $700 is much more than, which is what I pay for my first radio, is much more than you would pay for a brand new IC705, right? Today, in today's money, in 2024 money. At least for the US dollar. And we often forget just how good we have it now, how cheap things have gotten. And this is incredible. I wouldn't have known what to do at the time to have bought a radio for $165 US shipped to my house from, I think, Turkey or wherever they make these, that covers multiple bands. I mean, it's just hard to believe that you could do that. I mean, what would that be in 1997 money, like $90 or $100 for an assembled radio? I mean, that would have been unheard of. They would have dominated the market back then. We do have some very affordable options now, but I think QRP Labs is actually one of the very best because, first of all, you can buy it as a kit. Second of all, Hans is an amazing guy doing amazing stuff. And even I bought his QDX radio, even though I don't plan to use it a whole lot. I bought it just because I wanted to show support for his company. I think QRP Labs does such amazing work in the world of amateur radio and making amateur radio very affordable for everyone. There's no reason someone couldn't afford $165 now when most people pay way more than that for their iPhones and stuff. So I think it's pretty darn good. Excuse me, let me take another photo. I'm just going to put this up real quick. I'll take some photos of the antenna. I never think to do that. This antenna is so good and I love it so much. I think it does an amazing job. So portable. I could have just brought out, today it's not very windy, I could have brought out the tripod for it, but I didn't do that. Plus, they don't mind me sticking a stake in the ground here. I'm going to do my over-under method here for this antenna, if I can. This actually has so much kind of this cord right here actually doesn't kink very much or tangle very much, so I hardly need to do over-under with it. But I still like doing that. Makes it easy when I want to just throw it out when I get here. And it becomes just muscle memory. So you just kind of do it that way. And Bob's your uncle. Okay. Actually, did have an Uncle Bob. I can't wait to make a dedicated field kit for my QMX. I am looking forward to that. Wow, that was it. That was nice. I don't think I took nearly enough photos for my field report, but I think it worked out pretty well. On such a beautiful day, I actually packed this up in 10 minutes. 9 minutes, actually. Maybe a little faster than that. I don't see anything laying around here, but I always try to clean up if I see any trash around here, and I don't see any. And I always tell people this, not always, but when I think about it, I mention it. I always, without fail, always check the ground around me wherever I'm activating. I don't care if it's in a public park or if it's out in the middle of nowhere. I always check around to make sure that I didn't leave any trash and there's no other trash around there. And while I'm doing that, it's actually a really great opportunity to make sure you didn't miss something that might have fallen off of your table, like an adapter or something like that. I don't see anything here. It's really clean. I don't see any trash. So they got trash cans right here, which is really nice. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. And again, thank you so much to my Patreon and Coffee Fund supporters. I just really appreciate it. You really do make all this possible. I put a lot of money into the site and into my videos, really my site. I run it on really good servers. Actually, I support qth.com, have them run QRP, but I also pay for backup and archiving of the site. So that if something were to happen to my servers, there's always a full copy. I also use Patreon funds to put all my videos on Vimeo, and that serves as a backup to all of my YouTube videos. So if YouTube were to go down or I'd get hacked or something weird like that, I've got copies of all of my videos in the cloud also on some hard drives at home. And I try to do things like that so that, because I feel like a lot of my time goes into this, and I want to preserve it. And so it's really nice to have that option. There's actually a really nice visitor center in here. If you ever come to Zebulon Vance, I'd encourage you to check it out. They're open Tuesday through Saturday. They're closed Monday and Sunday, but they allow people to still come to visit. I'm trying not to show you in my messy car right now. It is a mess. Doing so much work right now. Staying busy. I'm not cleaning out my car like I should. Thank you for joining me today again. Take care, everyone, and be kind to one another out there. It's spring, man. This is crazy seeing trees bud already this early in March, but it feels like spring today. I think we got another cold front moving in maybe after this weekend or something, but I think our really cold weather's behind us at this point, which is okay. I like winter, I like fall. Spring, probably my least favorite, only because of allergies. I'm just not crazy about the allergies it usually brings me, but spring is so gorgeous here in the mountains of North Carolina that it's kind of hard to complain. It is really spectacular, and I love spending time outdoors when it's spring. So thank you again for joining me. Take care of one another out there, and until next time, 7 twos.